the media will tell you that their purpose is to protect us from the government, right? Protect us from the government. The media favor a massive government. The media favor politicians who favor a massive government. Members of the media are overwhelmingly statist progressives, not constitutional conservatives. Most of them don't even know what we mean by constitutional conservative. But they know they dislike us. So, under the auspices of progressivism, they have this schizophrenic issue here, which is, on the one hand, they're to protect us from the government, right? On the other hand, they love the government. They hate Trump. They hate Republicans in government, unless, of course, those Republicans in government are Republicans in name only. Protecting us from the government, they tell us. It's their responsibility to question the government. Now, if you're a conservative and you say that the duty of a patriot is to protect his country from its government, oh my Lord, what are you, militia? You're a right-wing nut? And if you're a conservative, a constitutionalist, and you believe in the application of the Constitution, I mean, after all, there's our governing document, which puts a lot of pads and brakes and all kinds of things, obstacles in the front before the statist progressives. Then there's something wrong with you. Wow, what do you mean? You're against the New Deal? You're against this? And they'll give you the litany of big government programs and so forth. That's not a patriot. What are you, a militiaman? You're a right-wing nut. So their purpose, theoretically, right, is to protect us from the government. And when you and I want a smaller government, we're right-wing militia nuts. Because statist progressivism is incompatible with constitutionalism. And that really includes, ready? Taking it to the next step, the First Amendment, including freedom of the press. If you support a bigger and bigger government with more and more centralized authority, less and less responsive to the American people, and how can you claim to want to protect the people from the government? You see, what Trump has been able to do here, and what the media really have done on their own, is expose themselves, if I keep saying. You have the greatest scandal in American history. It truly is. The instrumentalities of the biggest federal law enforcement department, as well as numerous top levels of our intelligence agencies, were used to interfere with the last election. And for the most part, much of the media have defended it or ignored it. Now, it's not like the media haven't done this before, as I've told you before, like the New York Times has ignored even worse, even more. The New York Times downplayed the Holocaust. The New York Times downplayed the Holocaust. And yet it's the paper of record. Well, why is it the paper of record? Why should it be the paper of record? It should be a wrecked paper. No, you don't understand. Freedom of the press, they're there to tell the American people what's going on, but they didn't tell the American people what's going on. Again, we don't seek perfection, but we do seek institutions and people who will actually try to do their best, right? To uphold freedom of the press. So they're going to protect us, you see, from a runaway government. Yet they support a massive government. Again, I'm speaking as a rule. There are exceptions, obviously. Now let's take a look at Chuck Todd. He's got a very deep and long Democrat pedigree, Democrat Party, as does his wife. That's okay. In fact, that's commonplace, isn't it? Nobody will ever accuse him of being a conservative, a Republican. But is he a journalist? He's on MSNBC today. Is the purpose of MSNBC to provide news. Of course not. It's a clown show. Every loser Democrat you can think of, and losers like Scarborough, are paid, they're hired to be stupid and to jack up their ratings. But here's Chuck Todd. He is a supposed journalist, right? Hat Tip Newsbusters, cut 8, go.
No, Savannah, you could tell there was sort of an urgency in the president's voice that bordered on almost pulling a muscle, trying to pat yourself on the back. You could feel that he knows there's all these other headlines out there that are not good, especially this morning involving Michael Cohen, involving the Russia investigation. Frankly, even on the economic front, he got a lot of grief about trade from even fellow Republicans while traveling in the Midwest. So today felt like an attempt, and you could even hear it. He kept veering from his remarks and then going back to the remarks and extending them even longer, but all in a sense of trying really hard to say, hey, please pay attention to the economic story and ignore all the other stuff. I get it. Politically, he needs to do this, Savannah, but I can tell you there is a sense of where you overhype something, and there were so many times in those remarks that it felt overhyped and how he was talking about the economy.
What is he talking about? Overhyped? Talking about the economy? Instead, he should let Michael Cohen and Lanny Davis drive the narrative. He should let this endless, preposterous Russia investigation, which has as its purpose to destroy his administration, he should allow that to be the news every day. But even more, is it not news, ladies and gentlemen, that our economy grew by 4.1%? Is it not news? Is it not important? Again, what's the purpose of freedom of the press? To provide information to the people so they can make decisions about their own lives and the republic? How is Michael Cohen related to that? How is this phony Russia investigation? By that, I don't mean the investigation of Russia. I mean the Russia investigation, which has as its real purpose to try and take down Trump. Let us go to Sam, Arlington, Virginia, the great WMAL. Go.